Today we're going to be operating a 173 concentrator. We had an extended sluice. Sometimes we use the extended sluice when we need a lot more time or a lot more area of surface, depending on the amount of black sand concentrates, so we don't have to clean up the sluice very often. It's kind of funny, you come up here on your vacation and you come up here to prospect and mine for gold, and you work 10 times harder than you do at home. But you know what, that's part of the lure of gold, and hopefully in a little while maybe we can show you some gold. We dumped a couple of buckets of water in here to kind of wash off and clean off the bedrock, so we can kind of see the bedrock and see what kind of traps could be holding gold. But once we get down to the bottom, we'll actually take crevice tools and we'll scratch out the bedrock. We'll take wire brushes. We'll do whatever it takes to get down to the very bottom of the gut. Because when you get down in those cracks, sometimes you can actually see the gold in it, and you have to take a crevice tool and you actually have to scrape and pry the nuggets out of it. But that's the name of the game. It's a lot of hard work, but it's a lot of fun, and we're here to find gold, and hey, this is what we do. And in a little while, we'll show you operating the high banker, how it's done, and how we're actually recovering the gold. And hopefully we can actually see a little bit of gold in the box, and kind of give you guys an understanding why we do this and why we come up here. We're using the Keen 173 extended sluice. Sure has great recovery. That's a high banker. Believe it or not, that little machine right there has kept all of us working. We could run bigger units, but you know what? It really isn't necessary. And we pretty much kept a constant bucket brigade going to that machine for days now. It's quite a unit. It's also the same kind of machine that we send a lot of these to Africa, but sometimes we even put longer sluices on them. The nice thing about it is you get a lot more surface area on it, and it really moves a lot of material. Bob has been working the buckets pretty hard, feeding them into the unit, and everyone's been just trying to keep Bob fed. We're hoping to find some more gold here. Looks like the bedrock's starting to come back up. Down the hole where the magic fingers are, that's where he found the nugget the other day. Busting out the bedrock right here. Well, that looks like some good material in there, Barry. That's it, break those cracks open. I notice there's a lot of clay in there, Barry. And roots. Impacted material. You can see the area here where we started digging down. Then we filled in that whole area. It's about 3 feet of overburden where the high banker is. We created our settling pond, but it's getting full. I tell you, this high banking work is a lot harder than dredging. The magnitude of the hole. We worked up there, bedrock, chased it down through all these cracks, filled in this area here, and if you look at our first photos and you match it to now, there's quite a difference. Okay, we're going to wash out the carpet. We already took out the riffle. And now we're going to pull out our mat, our inspection mat. You see lots of little color on here. That's a great indicator, plus with some of our pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let that flop back in there, give a little bit of water flow. Some people like to sit there and pick the gold out of the box. If that's your thing and it's thrilling to you, then do it by all means. I'm going to remove some of these screens out of here. This is an extra screen that we put in here. It normally only comes with one. the miner's moss. Shake it back and forth, kind of pulse it on top of the water. This miner's moss is great for fine gold recovery. It doesn't work so good in a sluice box, but where you got high velocity water, it sure holds on to the concentrates well. Sometimes we'll stretch this shit a bit. And we'll pull that back. Okay, now we're down to the nuts and bolts. We'll slide this out just a touch. I'll turn off the water. Now if you look in the box here, you can see some of the pieces we found. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's probably going to be a lot more gold in there. And I know that gold's been sitting there for a long time because it's got a little scant of mercury on it. Sometimes the gold also works its way under the carpet. Any biggies? No. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the carpet here and I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to lift up the end down here, lift up the carpet, and turn on some water pressure. And now we watch for the gold. Look, you can see it right here. If you look down here, watch that gold as we move back. Whoa, turn down the water. There goes a couple pieces. We still haven't cleaned out the very bottom of it. We still got a lot of cracks and crevices, and who knows, the bigger stuff could still be in the hole. But you know what? When you see in color, you get awfully excited, and you know, this is what it's all about: finding gold, and enjoying yourselves, eating good, and hanging out with your buddies. The hardest part is splitting up your gold.